As the final live event arrives, our island is about to go full throttle into chaos. Lawless season, we're now staring down the barrel of the final live event that's going to reshape everything we know about this island. And trust me, if you thought things were crazy so far, oh, you haven't seen anything yet. We just got our first big live event leaks, and they're huge. If you thought things were going off the rails, the saga is far from over. This is your ultimate guide to the final event of Lawless season. First off, well, according to the leaks, it's all tied to Daigo. And as we know, he's no stranger to causing mayhem. This is the moment where things go from 0 to 100. The dark energy explosion coming from this beam, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Here's where things get extra spicy. Daigo, the mask maker himself, is about. This time, Daigo's going to invade the Magic Moss's location during the event. If you've been paying attention to the leaks, you know that this area is key to what's coming. We're not just talking about some random location. It's going to be ground zero for this explosive shift in reality. And trust me, when Daigo steps through that portal, there's going to be hell to pay. And speaking of confidence, Daigo's got it in spades. His leaked dialogue suggests, you'll see, the only one who can save this island is me. Talk about, or is he about to do something way darker than anyone expects? From the leaks, it seems like he believes the island's fate is in his hands. The question is, will he deliver or destroy everything in his wake? And get this, Daigo's plans might even be setting us up for a teaser to the upcoming Star Wars season. That's right, there could be a Death Star floating in the sky, and I'm not talking about some random Easter egg. This could be the real deal, and it's probably tied to the dark energy that Daigo's releasing. And guess who might be behind it? Fletcher Kane, the guy who thought he was riding high with his crypto empire, only to get absolutely played by the system. But he's also revealing some secrets from new leaked voice logs.
Sir? The mask on the wall. It's glowing. Moon above. He actually did it. Sir, you asked me to inform you when Daigo completed his tests. And were they successful? It seems so. Excellent. Omega Squad may have located Midas. Take him out. Oh, don't. With the mask in play, it hardly matters anymore. Tell me again, what does it look like? Well, it's a mask, and it glows. But not with light. Something more, sinister. Perfect. We're proceeding to the portal phase shortly. It's all over. They have no idea.
Speaking of Kane, things are not looking good for him. This guy went from building mining farms all over the island to he's got a major secret of his own. There's a new interaction because plot twists ahead. Could this be part of Midas's grand plan to take over the island once again? The mystery deepens, something even worse. But how? Well, let's put the pieces together. When enraged, Midas has just arrived on the Battle Royale island, secretly putting his ominous plan into motion. Meanwhile, Fletcher Kane and Daigo are trying to fix the portal to the spirit realm, aiming to bring endless darkness to Oninoshima, taking control of our world once and for all. On February 15th, Daigo decided to face the demons. As a result, not only did he break the curse on Night Rose and Jade, but he also caused a massive, and last, one to take advantage of it was Fletcher Kane. Kane, one of the biggest criminals, arrived to seize all the gold he could. In no time, he gained control over the Oninoshima. Aaron isn't just a regular businessman, he's the head of a mafia, forcing everyone to use his gold. However, Flash of Midas, many people obsessed with the gold fever since the society days. She's making slow progress on finding the shard, and on top of that, Hope is going through a bit of an identity crisis due to all the surrounding chaos. Even though she's the chosen one of the Greek gods who can predict the future, she still doesn't know who she wants to become. And speaking of Jones, he considers Hope a good leader. Jones and Hope aren't interested in chasing after gold. They have a much bigger goal in mind: to capture an incredibly powerful comet, which is actually a shard of the 0 point. If you talk to Jones on the island, he'll tell you that there are more shards out there, and it confuses him because even just one shard causes a ton of problems. So, where are these other shards? Well, after building a whole new island in Chapter 4, the 0 point was in pretty bad shape, dying out, and reality itself was slowly fading. So Jones teamed up with Dr. Sloan and traveled back in time, using energy from the Big Bang to restart the 0 point. But during that time, when Jones was in the past, the present died, leaving behind only the nothingness, which then tainted the 0 point. Here's where it gets interesting. Somehow, Jones managed to bring the Big Bang into the future at the last moment, which caused the 0 point to shatter into pieces and restored reality. However, this also led them, as you know, crashed on Oninoshima. Other shards fell into the Chapter 5 now. In the meantime, Jones is working on a plan to rescue it. The best way to do this seems to be by talking to an actual demon, Night Rose, which Jones has already done. After hearing Night Rose's words, you get the sense that this chaos isn't just about the 0 point. There's something much darker, something the demons in the spirit realm are hiding. To solve this mystery, I think we'll need Daigo's help. But where is he now? Before I get into that, make sure you subscribe to this channel. At first, it seemed like Daigo, after his fight with Shogun X, got corrupted by the demons. And with him missing from the island during the early weeks of Season 2, it would make sense. But that's far from the truth. Daigo is alive and well, and right now, he's working on fixing the ruined Oni mask from the ancient war. To repair it, he's using a lot of gold. Daigo even freed the mask from its display case, which is risky since Kendo warned him that the mask should never be fixed. Still, Daigo is determined to restore the mask using the ancient art of kintsugi. Weird sounds can be heard from underground near Daigo's shop, and many players believe these sounds are related to the dark energy surrounding Daigo's new activities. I'm curious to see what he needs this powerful ancient mask for. It's very likely he's preparing for a fight with the dark presence. Now let's return to Fletcher Kane. In secret, he's been working with Daigo. If you look at the guards working for Fletcher, their masks look identical to Daigo's, which clearly indicates their close cooperation. This would also explain why they use vacuum rifts to move around. The deal between Fletcher and Daigo is simple. If Fletcher gives him gold, to say the least, not happy about it. Fletcher's main plan is to keep an eye on Midas and eliminate him as soon as possible because of the deep hatred the Baron feels toward Midas. He wants to get rid of his rival once and for all. If we ask Midas about it, he'll tell us that he and Fletcher are old friends. And as far as Midas remembers, Kane has always been an arrogant bragger, even when he had nothing. Well, the kings of thieves can either be the best or fall to the best, and Kane will fall. Midas has his own secret plan to overthrow the Baron, and we got a taste of it in the storyline quests. Midas bribed the loopers, and together we found a backpack with a sensor. We scanned the signatures of mysterious energy, and Midas has a hunch about what it is, but he wants to confirm it. After scanning the strange energy, the Golden King confirms that it belongs to the 0 point. But his investigation doesn't end there. He decides to steal an old book from Daigo, which reveals the personal interest in it. But for now, our common goal is to find the 0 point shard before Kane and Daigo do. They'll waste its power on their petty issues. If that means working with Jones and Hope, so be it. But stopping this wolf and mask maker is a must. It won't be easy though, because Hope doesn't fully trust Midas, but it seems that with the 0 point shard on the line, personal conflicts will take a back seat. So what does all of this mean? Honestly, from our conversation, it seems like darkness is coming to Oninoshima. But what is it? In my opinion, it's the dark presence currently in the spirit realm. However, it's not exactly what we thought it was at first. You see, the whole plot of this season is leading us straight into the Star Wars universe, and here's why. First, look at the box that held the backpack with the 0 point sensor. It was directly taken from the Star Wars universe. Also, there are theories going around in the Fortnite community that reopening the portal may bring the one and only Emperor Palpatine into our world. And honestly, it makes sense, especially considering how his character has always messed around with dark power. I know it sounds a bit strange, and probably that's why Night Rose doesn't want to reveal the truth to us. No one on the island would believe her anyway. But did you know that Palpatine has been part of the Fortnite story for a long time? Let's take it back to the first season of Chapter 2, when we had the first ever Star Wars event. During that event, Palpatine gave a terrifying speech.
At last the work of generations is complete. The great era is corrected. The day of victory is at hand. The day of revenge. The day of the Sith.
Personally, I think having Palpatine as the main villain in Fortnite's story would be an awesome idea. But here's the question. Where is all of this going with the 0 point? The story kicks off with the end of the Remix finale event. We saw Jones and Hope show up, right? They popped up on the sides and made their way to the Chapter 6 map. But they weren't just wandering around aimlessly. They're looking for something. They've got a mission. And of course, we're tagging along with them to figure out what's going on. But here's where it gets interesting. Behind them, there was this huge object, like seriously massive, that followed them into Chapter 6. At first, we had no idea what it was. But thanks to some juicy leaks from the event files, we found out Fortnite labeled this thing Piece 2.0. Turns out, it's a fragment of the 0 point that broke off and followed us into this new reality. Makes sense so far, right? The 0 point has always been behind us, on the maps from Chapter 2 to Chapter 5, and even earlier seasons. Since the start of Fortnite, we've always been on Zero Island, the island tied to the 0 point, which connects the entire Omniverse. But now, for the first time ever, we've left the 0 point island and landed on a completely new map. And it's totally logical that a fragment of the 0 point would follow us here. It's like a piece of our past clinging on. Check out this little diagram, you know, for the visual learners out there. It shows how this piece followed us through the portal to the Chapter 6 map. But here's the big question. Why did this piece break off? The last time we saw the 0 point, it was back in Chapter 4, Season 3. The 0 point used to sit right in the middle of the map. It was literally the centerpiece. The last time we saw it, everything seemed fine, but its exact state wasn't clear. Here's the thing. The 0 point gets destabilized whenever it's forced to connect to new universe, breaking into pieces. Flashback to the Zero Crisis finale. The Foundation had to gather and stabilize the pieces to stop the 0 point from exploding. One of those fragments is what followed us to the Chapter 6 map, and it's the same piece Fortnite labeled Piece 2.0 in the event files. So yeah, the fragment on this map isn't random. It's one of the chunks the Foundation patched together during Zero Crisis. And guess what? That fragment broke off again and crashed into Chapter 6. There's even a crater on the map where it landed. But here's the twist. The center of the crater is empty. The fragment is gone. Did someone steal it? Did it disappear? Or maybe it went underground? We don't know yet. But what's clear is this. Jones and Hope didn't come to Chapter 6 to retrieve that fragment. It followed them here, but they're not even aware of it. Whatever they're looking for, Jones used to work for the Imagined Order, IO, and his job was straightforward. We saw Jonesy activating the 0 point to portal into different universes to solve problems. That was his thing. But now, things have changed. Jonesy isn't working for the IO anymore, and he's not handling these issues solo. That's where Hope comes in. She's helping him out. Together, they're tackling whatever is happening on the Chapter 6 map. And guess what? As loopers, we're joining them for the ride. This is also a huge moment for Fortnite lore, because it's the first time we've traveled to an island that is... We left that back on the maps from Chapter 2, Chapter 5, and so on. Now, instead of overthinking why Jones and Hope came to Chapter 6, well, we'll probably find out in the next episode. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks to everyone who made it this far in the video. Have an absolutely amazing rest of your day, guys, and may the Force be with you.
I kinda need to act up, brother. Kick, turn me up, soul. Bring on the mayhem. It's about to be a knockout. Bringing out the big guns, putting all the stops out. This ain't what you expected. Buckle up, it's about to get hectic. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. When I move, you move, everybody let's go. Now run, run them up. Start up a rocket, yo, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run them up. Start up a rocket, yo, let's turn it up. Run them up. Now bring on the mayhem. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. When I move, you move, everybody let's go. Now run One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. When I move, you move, everybody let's go. Now run, run, run 'em up. Start up a rocket, yo, let's turn it up. Run, run, run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. Run, run, run 'em up. Start up a rocket, yo, let's turn it up. Run, run, run 'em up. Now bring on the mayhem. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. When I move, you move, everybody let's go now. We keep it reckless. I'm a big deal, gotta hang it on my necklace. So you better watch out when we dropping in, or we gon' leave you Swiss cheese like boom. We bout to clap these fools. I'll show you just what a pickle and a brat can do. Run, run, run 'em up. We making impressions while keeping it classic. We kinda get it started like a matchstick. One for the money and two for the show. Make it loud, yeah, that's all that we know. Foot to the floor, now we out of control. When I move, you move.